All wings report in.
HouseDog, standing by.
MotherGoose, standing by.
Lowtech Tuck, standing by.
Lock S-foils in attack position. Animal Squadron ready for battle.
Well, hello there, and welcome back to the Animal Squadron podcast. I am one of your hosts, HouseDog, and with me, as always, the hairiest host. He wears glasses and has a beard. There's a virginity corner in his home, and the women are beating down his doors. He's got a touch of the tism. It's the one and only MotherGoose.
Hello, everybody.
And with us in our dumpster always, he sucked onto the side of the ship years ago, been chewing on the wires ever since. Lowtech Talk.
What up? I'm going to keep chewing wires. It's what I do.
This is the way.
I mean, and also, has anyone ever said no to free food? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Exactly. This guy gets it.
You guys landed on my moon. It's kind of your fault.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If we didn't want you on the ship, we shouldn't have landed there.
Yeah, exactly. I don't care that y'all just took a blaster strike and you needed repairs desperately. It's still kind of your fault.
100%. 100%.
Max should have been a better pilot.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm doing the best I can.
Maybe y'all shouldn't have tried to break the Kessel Run record.
Yeah, that's our fault.
Yep.
So today we're doing, finally, an episode on our top 5 ships. This is an episode we've been talking about, I think, since at least Tucker started, if not even sooner than that.
Oh, it's been years. Yeah,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
we finally circled our way around to it.
Hey, things are kind of quiet in the Star Wars universe right now, so we're
Yeah.
just getting kind of to do what we want.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
We're getting after it.
Well, are we ready? Do we want to just jump straight in?
Yeah. Hit us
Alright.
with it.
I can start us off. My first one is going to be the ARC 170 Starfighter. This is the ship, the Starfighter that the clones fly.
Oh,
the
the X-Wing
precursor,
type
it's
thing?
like the
Yeah, that
X-Wing.
thing's
Yeah.
pretty sweet. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Well,
that is cool.
The X-Wing is definitely a more powerful ship. I just really enjoy the design of this one.
Yeah, and like how the like little secondary wing thing is actually like it's part of the wings.
Yeah.
And it's just literally just like kind of vents that come up. Like it's cool.
Yeah, I also really
Yeah.
like the big like tubes that are on it. It reminds me of like planes that we like real life planes if they were a spaceship.
Oh yeah, like big engines. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm also a prequel boy. I mean, what can I say? I
That's
love
fair.
prequel ships. I like tubes and I like the prequels.
Rock on, dude. Rock
Don't
on.
we all?
Plus, I mean, only one starfighter could bring down the great Plo Koon.
That's true.
That's true. That's true. I mean, you know, it takes the best to beat the best. So
Exactly.
that's all right.
This guy gets it.
That's all right. Plo Koon, more like Plo Dead, like y'all sent me in that meme that one time.
Plo Koon, more like Plo Boom.
That's actually a good one. Never heard that one before.
Yeah, hell yeah. So it's the ARC 170 stands for Aggressive Reconnaissance Starfighter. It comes in 2 variants, a heavy assault starfighter and then a heavy assault bomber. And I actually even have the cost for it. It's 180,000 credits.
Chump change.
Yeah, chump change. Barely.
Well, I mean,
anything.
for the Galactic Republic, that probably is actually just chump change. But
Yeah.
yeah,
They had quite a bit of them.
yeah.
But no, very, very solid starfighter. All right. What do you guys got?
Tuck.
Mine is actually also a Republic era ship, and it is the Troop Transport.
Hell
I don't
yeah.
remember the actual name, but the one that
The Lat?
sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
I'm not sure.
Low altitude assault transport, I think.
Or is it LATT, Low Altitude Troop Transport?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I don't. We all know what I'm talking about. You know, the squarish one that you see a lot throughout Star Wars: The Clone Wars, the series, and then also in the movies, Attack of the Clones. You see it most.
Yeah.
It's basically the Republic's version of a helicopter. kind of.
Right.
A lot of the time, the doors are open while they're flying it, and it's just something about it. I think it's because it's very helicopter-like, and we talk about it all the time. Big military history guy, and I just think it's something that just reminds me of the stuff I'm most interested in, and then also it's part of my favorite fictional series. So it's just cool. But yeah, also too, like how it's armed. Like let's say how it's got rockets, guns, whatever. I think that's sick.
Okay, so I found it is the low altitude assault transport. You know what I really love about these ships? The big balls on the sides.
Yeah, the turrets.
The gunner spots.
Last
And
week
also,
it was
too-
poop. This week it's big balls.
Dude,
Yep.
I like them too. Throw me in the big ball club. I like it. Also too, how the guns in the turrets are just literally, it just slings like just a laser beam.
Yeah.
It's not like individual shots. It's just
Big old laser.
It's just honestly, a really nice stream is coming out of those balls, and it's awesome.
We love when balls have a good stream.
That's right. That's right.
The best.
And it's a nice, healthy light green.
Oh, yeah.
Good. That's the
Kind of
good
neon
stuff.
a little bit.
That's the good stuff right there. Yeah, but no, I like them a lot. And also, there's just something about like some sort of assault mission or something, and it's night, and then you just get a peek at the characters inside the cabin, and it's red lights, and it's all dramatic. Like there's just something about that that's just cool. Like one of my other favorite sci-fi movies is like Predator.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like whenever I see that in Star Wars, it just reminds me of Predator, and I think it's so cool.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I almost expect Arnold to be there. It's what's up.
We need Arnold in Star Wars.
We do. We desperately do. I wish I can't say this because it would be blasphemy, but I'm going to say it anyway. Wouldn't it have been kind of funny and also maybe cool, who knows, if Arnold voiced all the clones?
Hell yeah. That would have been really funny.
Someone needs to do a fan edit. That'd be pretty funny.
I'm sure there's
Morrison is out. Arnold Schwarzenegger is in.
But again, that's blasphemous. I shouldn't have said that. I'm so
blasphemy.
sorry.
blasphemy
I
that
know.
I'm hearing in my ears.
I know. I will be taken to the guillotine for saying such, but I did.
You'll be
said it.
punished in a sexual manner.
Well,
Oh no! Please just lop my head off. Please just lop my head off. I'm begging you.
the guilty don't get to choose the crime or the punishment.
Wait, you're on his side
Yeah,
now?
that's right. That's right.
Sorry,
We're judge
Dookie.
and jury here.
I thought we were starting a revolution, Elijah.
Yeah, but I see my chance for that Tucker pussy.
You're siding on the government side in our revolution.
that
Mac
tussy.
being the government, for the record.
To see.
But also, too, we could have gotten married for tax purposes and tax purposes only, like we've always wanted.
You had your chance,
That's right.
and you chose someone else.
That's right. We're tired of your wife having your tussy. It's our turn.
Also, too, Elijah, I'm proud of you for knowing your worth.
Thank you.
Good for you, man.
I
you
appreciate it.
Elijah ain't gonna be any man's plan B, and I like
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
it. That's right.
I mean, the other great thing about our relationship is that we don't need Plan B.
Hey, real,
Okay.
real.
That's yep. Are we getting an explicit tag today, Elijah?
We might. We had one last week. We might need one this week.
We
I
had
don't
one
come
last
on
week?
here with that specific goal in mind, but it happens every time.
Yeah, one. We made some. Oh, it was the Raylan. There was a lot of sexual jokes about Raylan.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
Matt cussed
The
a couple
lightsaber in the
times,
hell-
and I was too
Yeah.
lazy to beep it out. I was just like, I'll just put an explicit tag on.
It's fine. It's fine.
Welcome
I mean, and
back.
also to the parents out there, just supervise your kids.
Yeah, for
it'll
sure.
be okay.
That's what the tag's there for.
Yep, that's right. That's right.
Well, anything else on the lap before Milky gives us his number 5?
No, just it's sick. That's
Hell yeah.
it.
Mine are in like no particular order, but I wanted to be a little different because I knew like X-wings and TIE fighters were going to be named as they should. They're good ships.
Yep.
I figured the LAT would be named, so I tried to go with stuff like a couple of them just a little bit off the beaten path. My first one is going to have to be the little escape ship that's attached to the Ghost, the Phantom.
Oh, hell yeah.
Sweet.
And the reason is, I don't remember if you guys remember the Star Wars Micro Machines. They were just like little minifigures. Like there's the Jawa Sandcrawler and like all the ships and stuff.
Yeah.
And I had one. It wasn't the Phantom back then, but that's what became the Phantom. And I still have it. It's this little minifigure that's the Phantom. And so I've always loved that ship. And then whenever it got brought up in Rebels, I was like, I have that.
Hell yeah.
And I just like it. It's so simple. It's just a little rectangle with a sloped cockpit and rectangle wings.
Mm-hmm.
It's
so
similar
very
to our
easy
trash
to
can.
draw. I'm not a drawer, but I can do squares and rectangles and slanted lines. So
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you.
yeah,
Hell yeah. And
I
I
like
just
that one.
Proud.
I loved how seamlessly it fits into the Ghost.
Yeah, that episode where like it first gets used, it's like there was a ship there the whole time and we never knew.
Right?
Yeah,
It's so cool.
And then even live action, it holds up really well. I mean, it even looks
Yeah.
good in Ahsoka too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was in Ahsoka, huh?
Yeah.
Yep.
I need to revisit Ahsoka, I think, sometime.
I think you should.
It's
Well,
good.
obviously you would suggest it.
That is true.
No, it's honestly good. As an unbiased fan, I like it.
As a biased fan, it's really good. Anything else on the Phantom?
No, I just like it. It makes my brain happy.
Hell yeah. Okay, so moving on to number 4, I got the Razor Crest. I
All right.
love this ship. I was devastated when it got blown up, and I'm kind of happy I missed the episode that it got blown up. I don't know if I could emotionally handle it again. But Tucker, you brought up during that episode a really good observation about how the Naboo starfighter and the Razor Crest really symbolize the different phases in Din Djarin's life, and I thought that was really cool.
Thanks, man. I don't know. Just every now and then, I feel like I get just a symbolic thought here and there.
Yeah, and just to bounce off it, I mean, the Razor Crest is his bounty hunter ship. There's so many cool features, like his armory, the fact that he can, what's the right way to phrase it? Trap them people in carbonite
Yeah.
to hold his
that's-
bounties.
Yeah, I mean that's what he's doing. So
He's got a refresher.
Yep.
yeah, he's got a bed in there. He can live in there.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I don't know. It was his home away from home, and I really like it.
Yeah.
And we see that ship get almost destroyed, like 4 or 5 times before it actually does.
So
get
many
blown.
times.
And then it just explodes. That's what happens to it. It's just one random bolt, just boom.
Like, there's
Gone.
the weird ice spider episode where, like, it's being held together by, like, rope and duct tape, and he
Yeah.
makes it through, but there was no coming back from this one.
Yeah, because then
Yeah.
that's the Frog Lady episode. They get to the planet, and the dock workers are all like Aqualish and stuff. So they fix it with like nets
Yeah.
and just like fishing gear, and you're like, this thing is a dumpster.
Yeah.
That's part of why I love it, though.
Yeah, I feel like in Star Wars, ships are either just ships, just kind of background things that they use to get around, which is fine. But also, there are other times where the ship's actually feel like part of the cast. The Ghost and the Phantom are one, the Millennium Falcon's another, and the Razor Crest is one that I feel like fits into this category where it feels like it's actually a part of the show.
Yeah,
Right.
that's well
Where
said. I
the
like
ship
it.
itself is a character. Mm-hmm. Like the Millennium Falcon is as much a part of the original cast as Luke, Leia, and Han and Chewie
Yeah.
are.
Yeah. And the Razor Crest also kind of looks like a dumpster, and that reminds me of you guys, so...
Nice.
Because of our joke that we fly around in a dumpster, not because you guys are trash. I just need to clarify.
Specifically, Yaddle's dumpster.
Yeah, specifically Yaddle's dumpster.
We bought it from the Jedi after her death.
Yeah, somebody needed it.
And it was us.
I think
Yep.
that's all I had. Did you guys have anything else on the Razor Crest?
No, great ship. Glad it exists. Glad it's a thing.
Hell yeah.
It makes me happy. And like I said, I thought about putting the Razor Crest on my list, but I knew somebody was going to do it. So I tried to pick stuff that we could talk about that we weren't all going to name.
The same thing. Yeah, for sure.
I'm sure there will be a couple of crossovers, though.
Yeah. It's us.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, and you know, it's almost like we grew up watching the same thing together. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And talking
waiting.
about it and developing very similar opinions about it.
I'm waiting for someone to just name the Death Star as their favorite ship.
No, I'm not going there. Actually, you know what? My like this'll be my number 4 is Y-Wings. You said Death Star, that reminded me.
Yeah.
I love Y-Wings, man. Like,
Dude,
just
Y-Wings are severely underrated. I think
they
because
are. Yeah.
in the original trilogy, they were just kind of there. And then once Clone Wars came around, we really got to see like how vital the Y-Wing was, not only in the Republic era, but even afterwards during the reign of the Empire. Like Y-Wings are actually a very solid starfighter. And they have like multiple uses besides just being bombers. Like they're actually like very maneuverable, very strong, and like very like just a good start, which is another question.
They're also hyperspeed capable.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. Yeah, they can jump.
Do you like Republic era Y-Wings better or Empire era better? Because there are slight differences.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with not Republic era, Rebel, Empire, Galactic Civil War era, only because they can jump, and that's cool.
Yeah.
And also, you know, with the Republic era Y-Wings, we don't really see those in the movies and stuff. A lot of that was Clone Wars later.
Yeah.
More so, I think, fleshing out just the advancements in the Republic, because they started out with those weird V-wing bombers until they figured out that those were just way too slow. And then they developed the
V-Wings are
Y-wing.
trash.
Yeah, but it's kind of funny though. And then they ended up figuring out that the V-wings are actually really good at being ships the faster you make them go, and it's actually where we get the TIE fighter from. But
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's
whenever
they turned that noise into the TIE fighter noise in episode 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
V-Wings at the end.
yeah, but the V-wing, like as a bomber, is kind of trash, and so like I can see the need for figuring out a real bomber. But yeah, I mean they're maneuverable. Really, the only thing that they're not capable of is like a one-on-one dogfight with something a lot more maneuverable, like say like the little droid, not the vulture droids, but the droid ship, like the little ships that are also
The Tri-Fighters?
Yeah, Tri-Fighters. You know, like that obviously is gonna crush a Y-wing on a one-on-one dogfight.
Yeah.
But that's also too. That's why you have fighters, just to protect them.
Right.
And then later on, in the Galactic Civil War era, I mean, having flown them in squadrons and like, you know, which is like kind of a Star Wars flight sim, they're not that slow. Like that's the other thing too, is you could participate in a dogfight with a TIE fighter if you had to.
Yeah.
And they do, which is awesome. And then also too, with another reason of picking Galactic era is the Y-Wings had shields, which is awesome. I like them a lot. There's just not much else I can really say other than they're cool. That's pretty much it.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
My next one is the ETA-2 Actus class starfighter, which is the Jedi starfighter from episode 3 that we see Anakin and Obi-Wan in. That is
Hell
like
yeah.
one of my favorite starfighters of all time.
That's on
Hell
my
yeah.
list, bro. That is
It's on my list too.
I figured that one would be on all of our lists. That's like one of the only ones that I was like, I have to mention it first.
Yeah.
Because I love that thing. And just the like the nostalgia factor attached to that, like we've talked about it on the podcast before, but just that opening scene in episode 3 where they pan down on the war going on over Coruscant, and then Obi-Wan and Anakin come in these starfighters that we've never seen before. Mm-hmm. Because the last time we saw Jedi starfighters, it was in episode 2, and it was Obi-Wan's, and they're these really long, like triangle shapes. And not that those aren't cool, but the Jedi starfighters, the Actus class interceptors that are built for like space combat, the Jedi starfighters were more for like traveling and stuff like that. They still had, offensive capabilities.
Yeah.
But, you had to have a hyperspace ring and everything. But the Actus class, just so much cooler. Like they're these tiny little things, and they just, I don't know. They're the coolest things ever.
You know, one that I don't feel like gets enough respect, but I think is kind of cool is Yoda's.
Yoda's?
Yeah.
I knew that was coming.
Like how it's short and stubby and green, just like him. I like it.
Ah, you're describing many things.
Something I love about the Actus class ships is if you watch some of the behind the scenes, they actually talk about the design of it and how it's it's supposed to be a proto TIE fighter.
Yeah, because of the way that the cockpit is built and everything.
Mm-hmm. And then there's the little like flat side pieces as well. Like when designing those ships, they specifically were like, okay, 20, 30 years before, what would TIE fighters look like? And this is what they come up with.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just it's the little details. I mention it all the time on this show, but the little details of the transition from the Republic to the Empire and their different and very unique designs. I just love getting to see stuff like that.
Oh, I guess we should have done like honorable mentions first, because like that kind of goes. I thought about
we do those before number 1.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry, I forgot Tuck's been on the show longer. I'll excuse myself. I'll stop speaking now.
I promise we'll get to the honorable mentions.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Tuck. I forgot it was your show.
Yeah, it's the Tucker show now. I'm back on Tucker's side.
It's fine. Just never forget again.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
But is that all you had to say about the Jedi Starfighter? Did you have anything else?
Yeah, like the nostalgia factor from episode 3, obviously, and then like, like playing Battlefront 2 with you guys. I mean, Elijah and I played it as more of adults, but like whenever, Tuck and I were kids, like coming over, cranking up the PS2, putting on Battlefront 2 and just playing like all night. And, back then, we would like try to take over the galaxy and everything. And the computer in that game is so trash whenever you're a kid, like playing it now, like I can take, no matter what era it is, I can take over the entire galaxy in like an hour.
Yeah.
But
when you're a kid, it's kind of difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, as a kid, it was like, hey, you're spending the night this weekend and we're going to conquer the galaxy. We're going to be the clones and we're going to conquer the galaxy. And we would stay up all night playing that game, and we would never skip a space battle.
Hell yeah.
And even if we did like instant action where you pick all the maps and everything, we would throw our favorite space battles on there. And do those. And like, it would always be a competition to who like the map would have to load in, and everything. You'd pick your character and who could run into the hangar bay faster to get the Jedi Starfighter.
Yeah.
Because you just fly around in that thing and, you'd be
Have a
pretending
great
you
time.
were Anakin and Obi-Wan, in episode 3.
Defending
Just
Coruscant.
getting after it. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Everything had to be movie accurate, even though we were, playing a video game.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
No, that's it for me, though.
Nice. Well, so my number 3 was actually going to be a twofer, specifically the Jedi Interceptors, the Actus class light fighter, which we just talked about, and the Delta 7B, the episode 2 Jedi fighter.
Do you want to point out the differences between the 7B and the 7?
I actually don't really know much, like off the top of my head, the differences between the 7 and the 7B. So take it away, Pookie.
Okay, so the 7B, the astromech is fitted in front of the cockpit. And on the 7, the astromech is fitted on the left side like we see in episode 2.
Sick.
So a lot of like the toys, like I had this one, it was like green and white. I had the 7B, the astromech sat right in front of the cockpit.
Yeah.
Which was weird because that was whenever episode 2 came out, and
Not where it
Obi-Wan
went.
would have had the 7. So I don't know why but they marketed the 7B. But that's really the big difference visually, really.
I'm curious if they actually made the 7B. Like, maybe it was a malfunction or an error with the toys that they made, so they were just like, actually, it's just an offshoot of the 7.
That could be it, too. I mean, I don't know. George Lucas is kind of like a licensing guru. Like,
yeah.
You know that man still... I don't know if I've shared this before, but I watched it's a really good documentary. It's on Disney Plus, but it's about, I forget what it's called, but it's basically like the creation of Star Wars. Mm-hmm. And it's not the one that's been around for a couple years. This one was made pretty recently. Hold on. I have Disney Plus. Talk about whatever you want while I look at this.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, they're, for both these ships, they're Jedi fighters, and I think that's cool. And I really, specifically, we brought it up earlier, but I really do love the hyperspace ring. Again, just in terms of the whole differences between Republic era and Galactic Empire era, just seeing little things like that where like, oh yeah, their fighters couldn't jump into hyperspace, so they had to use a hyperspace ring. It's just those details that make me love Star Wars so much. I love, specifically for the Delta 7, I really love just the like almost mini Star Destroyer look to it, that triangular design. I think it's really cool.
Yeah. Well, and actually, did you have more to say? Sorry.
No, that was about it. I like it.
Well,
It makes
actually,
my brain go burr.
to kind of segue from whenever you said triangle shaped, my third favorite is the Venator.
Hell yeah.
The Venator class. And that's over Star Destroyer. Like, Star Destroyer, honestly, is cool, but I would pick Venator as my favorite more so because while slightly not as powerful, it's still the flagship of the Republic. Mm-hmm. And I'm a Republic boy. And then also, too, I have to argue that the top-loading ship garage is cooler than the bottom load.
Than hangar bays.
Yeah, I mean, it's just cooler. And then also, one thing I like about them is those doors open, and then like, oh, well, how do they stay sealed? Shields. Mm-hmm. Like, that's just
Shields.
sick.
Hell yeah.
And then also, I mean, and like I said, like the Star Destroyer is slightly more powerful and more so meant for attacking bases and positions and stuff, so it's got heavier guns,
like bombardments.
But one thing I like about the Venator though is that it was from the era of, you know, still space battles, so it's more meant to fight other capital ships instead. And it's awesome. Yeah, that's all I got. I mean, I love the Venators. I love the way they look with the big red stripe. Yeah.
Yeah, the Venator was going to be one of my honorable mentions.
Hell yeah.
Yep. Venator's number 3.
But no, I found those documentaries too.
Oh yeah, tell us about it.
So the one that Disney put out a couple years ago is just called Light and Magic, which is more about ILM, Industrial Light and Magic, the company that George created. You know, that paved way to Pixar and everything like that. Really good documentary. There's also one on Disney Plus called Empire of Dreams, which is kind of in the same flavor. Empire of Dreams came out years ago, but Light and Magic is really good too. And I think it was in Light and Magic. It might have been in Empire of Dreams, but the things that George retained like as himself whenever he made the companies and everything, even before he sold Star Wars to Disney, he wanted... The only like things he wanted rights to whenever he sold Star Wars, the first one, he told the company, he said, I want the rights to all the toys and merchandise.
Mm-hmm.
And
Smart man.
back then, that wasn't really a thing back in the 70s.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, there was, lunch pails and everything and toys, but it wasn't like it is now.
Right.
Or like whenever we were growing up, you know what I mean? Like you wanted the things based off the movies and all that.
Oh yeah. Well, and specifically too, the kid who played Wicket, I forget his name.
Warwick Davis.
Yeah, he part of his payment was Kenner action figures.
Hell yeah.
Really? Mm-hmm. Kenner
He was
toys,
paid-
man.
He was paid X amount of dollars, I forget what it was, for the movie, and then also was given pretty much any new Kenner action figure that he wanted.
Hell yeah.
Like that was like part of his payment, like legitimately part of this kid's contract.
I wish I don't have Kenner. I can't remember who I have. I have the...
They make Kenner repros.
Yeah, now they do, but I don't have
Yeah.
like any original Kenner toys. I have one of the the retro Kenner ones of Mando.
Mm-hmm.
That my
Yeah.
mom got me for Christmas. He's like a 6-inch, like the ones that we played with.
Yeah.
But the most that I have is like the Power of the Force. Like I have 3 of those. I have Princess Leia in Episode 4, Princess Leia in Return. My most proud one. I either picked it up with you or Elijah. We went to Ralph's back home. I think it was with Elijah.
I think so. Yeah, I don't remember that.
We went to Ralph's. It's the Rancor handler from
Hell
Return
yeah.
of the Jedi.
Oh,
Hell
the guy
yeah.
with the metal bikini on, basically. Yeah.
No, he's shirtless. All he has is like this
Yeah.
hood, like this welder's hood.
I thought he had like a metal thing across
Like
his
a
chest.
metal Speedo.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like shirtless and naked, and he's got like a welder's hood on. And I have him. And as much as I love Golden Bikini Leia from Return of the Jedi, I would have to say the Rancor Keeper. Finding him that day, and I was like freaking out about it. I was like, this guy's the Rancor Keeper from Jedi.
Hell yeah.
He's like one of my proudest figures.
Hell yeah.
All of them are in original packaging too. So
Nice. Nice.
That's what's up.
With the Venator, though, did you guys know that it had a bigger hangar and could hold more fighters than the Star Destroyer does?
I could believe that.
that makes
'Cause it was-
sense though.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was meant for just fighting
War.
other capital ships.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was meant for fighting like something equal. And the separatist ships could have way more, so I could see where you need
Well,
ships.
and if you
Yeah.
think about Palpatine's plan too, like, he masterminded the war to create the Empire. He would want to create the ships that could, have these full scale like invasions and wars on planets. So
Yep.
that way, whenever the Empire rose, it would be more for like security and defense purposes, not laying siege to worlds.
Right.
Not that they didn't do that in the Empire, but that job had already been done because of the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they just slowly over time come out with the Star Destroyer to replace the Venator because the assault part of his plan was already done.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what.
So then at that point, all you need to do is bombard and
Yeah.
just hold your power. Like it's a lot more like all you need to do is just start sieges,
and set
instead.
security.
and that's pretty much it.
Hell yeah.
You don't have to like launch these grand campaigns like the Republic did.
Right.
And I actually think that if they still had Venators at the time of the Galactic Civil War, I think the Empire would have done a little better. The Venators were smaller, easier to maneuver. Like Tech said, they were built specifically for a civil war. They had larger hangars. I think they would
There
have
was
made,
more of them.
Yeah, they would have made really
Yeah.
good support ships to the Star
And it makes
Destroyers.
sense why Palpatine immediately sent them all to scrap yards
Yep. So they
and
couldn't
to
be
be
used
like
against him.
completely destroyed, so the rebels couldn't use them. Because I mean, he had to figure that somebody would eventually oppose him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean with how smart he is, like I mean, yeah, he definitely knew that.
Yeah.
I don't want to be basic.
Do
But I have
it.
to.
Hit us
I
with
have
it.
to. The Naboo N1 Starfighter, baby.
Hell yeah.
That thing is cool. Now the Mando version or the original?
Mando version is cool. I like all chrome.
It's something about
there's-
that yellow, though.
There's
isn't
something about the original N1. If a 9-year-old kid can pilot it, why can't I?
Hell
That's
yeah.
beautiful. That's beautiful. I'm about to cry just hearing that.
Yeah.
Hand me the keys. Give me the keys.
Give me the keys, give me a beer.
Exactly.
You can't get arrested for drinking and driving in space.
You can't get a DUI on a horse. I looked it up. As long as the buggy's not attached to it, I can't be arrested for DUI.
Yeah, it really is a very sleek and clean design.
Oh, dude. I don't know how they came up with that, but such a good one. Like, just that ship design is incredible. And the fact that it reminds me of like a laser bolt, the way that it's built. You know how it kind of like starts wide and then just gets skinnier and like sleeker as it goes back? I love that.
Yeah, and it also, too, one thing I like about it, just to jump off that real quick, I don't know if this is on anyone's list, but all of Naboo's starfighters are kind of like that. Like, it makes me also think of, in episode 2, it's the equivalent of a limousine for very wealthy people. What would you
Padme's
call that?
starfighters?
Yeah, like the big one. The big one, though. that
Oh, the
blows
one
up.
that's like a 747 at the beginning?
Cruiser?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like it's kind of the equivalent of like Air Force One, but for Naboo.
Yeah, they're all
Yeah.
Naboo cruisers.
Yeah, but like
Yeah,
that
the
thing
one
though,
that
I
gets
mean,
blown up in the
Royal
beginning.
Starship.
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
it's also kind of like it's kind of similar to the Starfighter though in a lot of ways. Like it's very sleek, very aerodynamic. Even though it's got a decent amount of space for what it is, it doesn't look like it and stuff.
Well, you know
like
what it
that.
reminds me
It's
of?
really cool.
Is like it's almost built like a modern age bomber.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a stealth bomber, like
Almost
the
like a
B2s.
stealth bomber.
Yeah,
You're
But
talking
it also
about
has
the
like
diplomatic barge that gets blown up in episode 2, right?
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought we were talking about the one they used in episode 1.
Oh no, we're talking about number 2,
Gotcha.
like episode
Yeah,
2. that
yeah.
one.
I like that one
yeah.
too though.
Yeah, and also too, that's kind of funny you mentioned that, because like also like the B2, like not only is it super sleek, but it's also like it's so like shiny and stuff that's part of its camouflage because it's just reflecting everything
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
and stuff like that. It's
It
just
reminds
cool.
me of a
Yeah.
bomber and of whenever Howard Hughes built the Spruce Goose.
Yeah, just that old like it's kind of like a mid-century modern kind of style with a lot of chrome.
Heading into the future, but still being stuck in the present.
Right.
Yeah. And also too, on that note, with the shape of it, it also kind of reminds me of a Zeppelin a little bit, or a blimp.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have more thoughts on the Starfighter though, Max? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. It's just whenever you were talking about it. Oh, okay.
That was a beautiful segue. I don't
Oh,
know who's
good.
next.
That'll be me. Starting off on number 2, I've got the T61974. This is Ahsoka's ship in Ahsoka and Rebels, and it's purely because it spins. Try spinning; it's a good trick.
Unless you're Plo Koon.
Which that's a Jedi starfighter too.
Yeah, I really like this ship design. It kind of gives me like when it's horizontal, it gives me like manta ray vibes.
I was about to say the same thing, or like
Yeah.
Stingray or something. Yep.
And I don't know, just the utility of it being able to go horizontal or vertical. I just think that's a really unique ship design. Plus, on the interior, you've still got living quarters. It's got a training area. Really everything a Jedi would need.
Yeah.
You're everything a Jedi needs.
That's what I'm saying. But yeah, no, I don't really have a lot on it. I think it's a really cool ship.
Hell yeah.
I think you're a cool ship.
And I'm really excited to see, I mean, we get to see it in Ahsoka, but going forward, just get to see more of it. And hopefully it has a better time of it than the Razor Crest.
My number 2 is going to be the A-Wing.
Ooh,
Really?
another good choice. Yeah.
Wow.
They're just so fast, man. And I just, me like fast. Me like go fast. Me like interceptor class vehicle.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I did not
And then-
think anyone would pick the A-Wing.
It's literally meant to destroy ties. That's its purpose.
Yeah.
It's just to destroy ties. And so, like, what I love about it is not only is that its purpose, but they specifically give it extremely strong front shields and weak back shields. And they make it hyper maneuverable, and it can jump through hyperspace. Like, it's the perfect fighter.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love it so much. It's just, its whole purpose is just to mess stuff up and just participate in dogfights.
Hell
and
yeah.
just win.
Hell yeah.
And just win, baby. That's its purpose.
It's got that dog in.
It's got
Real.
that dog in it.
Real.
Arr, arr.
Oh man. Yeah, it really is a good ship.
Yeah, but that's it. That's all I got.
Yeah. Makes brain go burr.
That's right. Makes Brainbow. Brain go burr. Not Brainbow, but Brain go burr.
Rainbow.
Brainbow.
Milky.
Reading Brainbow.
Reading Rainbow. My next one. Is this my 3? I think this is my 3.
Should be 2.
Okay, fine. That's whatever. I don't care.
Sorry, Milky.
I'm throwing it back to a ship that should have been made and never made it off the production line.
Oh.
The TIE Defender.
Yep.
That is pretty, yeah.
One of the best starfighters to never see the skies.
That's the 3-wing one, right?
Yep.
Yeah, dude, they put that in one Star Wars video game, and I keep wanting to say that it's in Squadrons, but I don't think it is. I don't think it actually
It's in OG Battlefront 2, baby.
Yeah.
is. It?
Yeah.
I don't remember it in that one. I thought it was in
Either
like
that or it's in that.
I thought it was in Rogue Squadron or something.
Yeah, was it called Rogue Squadron or Rebel Squadron? The PSP game that I've mentioned before.
I'm
that I
pretty
always
sure
forget.
that's the one that it's in.
I think it
yeah.
is that one. Yeah, I don't think it's in OG Battlefront 2. But I think it's in Rebel Squadron
Yeah.
that was on
Honestly,
PSP.
they need to add it in Star Wars Squadrons, like the flight sim game. That
Yeah.
needs to be in there.
It's
I would start playing that game again so fast if they add that bad boy. Yep.
That ship
And
is
we'd have to
just,
squat up. You know, we'd have to squat up.
Hell
for
yeah.
sure.
Added it. Yeah.
without a doubt. No, the TIE Defender is just amazing. And they brought it back with Ahsoka. Or not Ahsoka, with...
Rebels.
No, not Rebels. Well, yeah, it came back in Rebels, and then it got brought back recently with Tales of the Empire. We found
Yeah.
out that what's her face made it.
Morgan Elspeth.
Yeah, that she's the one that like created the design for the TIE Defender,
Yeah.
just solidifying it more in the canon, which makes me happy because this thing was a beast. It had capable shields. Like, it got rid of all the problems with TIEs. Like,
Yep.
it had actual good shields. It was hyperdrive capable, which TIEs weren't capable of. It was basically a ship made to crush the rebels,
Yeah.
and it didn't get funded. So,
It's another one of those things where I'm just like, if they had mass produced these ships and made it their like flagship interceptor, I don't think the rebels would have won.
Also, too, can you imagine how many pilots would win the Emperor's Fist, which was like basically their Medal of Honor?
Yeah, right?
Like with that TIE fighter, like can you imagine how many dogfights they'd win
Yeah.
with those?
dude,
It'd be
the ship
crazy.
was incredible. There was nothing to do
They'd
to
like
beat it.
they'd basically never lose. Like all the pilots with them would just never lose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, if you had a squadron of TIE Defenders, it was over. And they prove
Yeah.
it a lot in the Thrawn books. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, it just didn't get funded because all the funds went to the Death Star project. And
Yeah.
Orson Krennic.
Yep.
That
Cinder.
bastard.
Dumb.
Who is being brought into Andor Season 2.
Ooh, cool.
I don't know if you guys saw that.
No.
But I don't remember his name. But he's being brought back for Andor Season 2.
Nice.
Oh, sweet.
Nice. Well, moving to honorable mentions, I'll go through mine pretty quickly. I have The Ghost. I can't believe this didn't make my actual list. And if I redid my list, it probably would have. I love that ship. But I've got the video game trifecta of ships. The Ebon Hawk from Knights of the Old Republic, the Stinger Mantis from the Jedi games, and the Rogue Shadow from the Force Unleashed games. I love all three of
man.
these ships.
I was gonna say the Rogue Shadow.
Yeah, all really good ones.
Honorable mentions are going to be this is 2 ships, but I'm going to count it as one, is the X-Wing slash TIE. Both of them, I think, are also in that spot where they're almost as much characters as they are ships.
Yeah,
But they're very, very important to the story. Mm-hmm. And like the TIE specifically, like that noise is my favorite noise in all of Star Wars. I mean, it's
a fantastic
I love
noise.
it, love it. So that would be honorable mention. Jedi Starfighter would be an honorable mention. Type 2 though, not Type 1.
Yeah,
The Type 1s, they don't make my list, to be honest.
that's fair.
Let's see what else. I mean, there's a bunch of cool ships. It's honestly kind of even mind-boggling to try to think about all of them.
Right?
Oh, like the Mon Calamari capital ships, like those are kind of cool. But they're like kind of bubbly, a little weird looking, but they're cool. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's pretty much all I'm going to say for now, just because it's all I can think of.
Hell yeah.
But my honorable mention list is pretty long. So I'm probably just going to call it there. But yeah.
Mine could go on as well. Mm-hmm. But just a couple for me is General Grievous's modified CIS strike bomber. That's on there for me.
That's
the
awesome.
Acclimator, which are the cruisers that go with the Venators.
Yep.
The YT class freighters, which is what the Millennium Falcon is, but the one that the knockoff Han Solo flies.
Oh, yeah.
That made an appearance in Rebels.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I like that one a lot. Oh, I've talked about it before, but Darth Maul's Sith Infiltrator,
Yeah.
the Scimitar,
yeah.
It's pretty sick.
that one's up there for me. Slave 1 and Slave 2, of course, are on my honorable
Oh
mention.
yeah, those are great. I should have put that on my honorable mention. I'm mad at
Like,
myself.
solely for the bombs.
Such a great
Oh,
noise.
yeah.
Yeah.
Depth charges, yeah,
Yeah,
That's
that
so
makes
cool.
that makes brain happy.
makes brain go.
Hell yeah. Well, moving to number 1, I feel like this is going to be a surprise pick, but the Corvus from Battlefront 2, the Raider class Corvette. I love these ships. It's such
That
a cool
is cool.
design.
I have to look that up.
And how they're almost like bug-like
Yeah.
a little bit. Yep.
Yeah.
I know what it. I know the name, and I know I just can't remember what it looks like. That is some medical instrument.
It's the ship that was used by Inferno Squad. I don't know. I love the Empire era ships as a whole.
Oh, yes.
The Raider
Yes.
class Corvettes, I think, were just such a cool addition, a newer addition to that line of ships.
The Corvus is a good one.
I love the design. I love that it's almost like if you were to mix a Star Destroyer and a TIE Fighter into one ship, that's what you would get with the Raider class Corvettes.
Beautiful.
It's smaller.
Oh,
it's
the bug-like ones were Rebel. Never mind.
Oh,
You're
gotcha.
talking about the Empire ones, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. I love that they're smaller, more maneuverable than the Star Destroyers. I don't know. They're just a small ship. You got a small crew. I feel like if we were to have a ship, an actual ship with our crew of Yariel Proof and others, I feel like it would be something like the Raider class Corvette.
We have an actual ship. We're in it right now.
Yeah, but one that could realistically fit all of us.
This one can. Yariel just wears his fishbowl. He's fine.
Exactly. It's one of my favorite parts of the new Battlefront 2 is this ship. It's just one of those things I just fell in love with the second I saw it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's all I have to say with it.
Cool. Yeah, mine, my favorite ship, my number 1, is the Millennium Falcon.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yep. And that one, honestly, I don't think I'm going to go too much into it because there's just, again, there's so many reasons why it's number 1. But real quick, I mean, just the shape of it is so unique.
Yeah.
Like we talk about this all the time with other lists. Like at this point, it's Americana. Like it's part of our culture.
Yeah.
This ship is our real life culture. Like if you were to show this ship to someone, chances are they know what it is or they've at least seen it before.
Yeah. For sure.
You know, also I love how fast it is. It's maneuverable. It's got different turrets. And also one thing I like is I just love how Han tricked it out from being a freighter to something that's actually capable of fighting.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. I mean, I love it.
Hell yeah.
I had one more honorable mention, and they don't really count, but pod racers.
Oh, yeah. No, you
They're
know
off
what?
the
We'll
ground.
count that.
Yeah.
We'll count that. That's cool. Yeah, we'll count that.
My number one is the Falcon 2. So,
Yeah.
you know, everything that tucks it is the ship. It's the ship of Star Wars.
It's
It
hard
is,
to
yeah.
it's hard to not say it as my number one. Like, I mean, I can't justify it to myself for it to not be my number one.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And I mean, it's probably one of the ships that we've seen, like we've gotten the most screen time with, specifically movies.
It's in
Yeah.
every film.
Well, it's not in the prequels, is it?
It is.
I think we see them in the background somewhere, right? But it's never like a major thing,
It's
right?
never in episode 1 or 2, but it's in episode 3. It's in the
Gotcha.
background. It's pulling in right before it's the scene where it's right after Happy Landing. You see it
yeah.
pulling in to one of the docking bays. So it's technically in all eras.
Nice.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And then we get it in Solo, and then all the, 3 original and 3 sequel trilogy movies. It's, I don't know. Like you guys say, it's the ship of Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Vader's breath or the TIE fighter noise, or I mean, it's just,
Yeah.
if you want a Star Wars ship, it's it.
There's no Star Wars without the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, right.
It's true.
All right. Any final thoughts, boys?
I don't think so.
No, I'm good. I mean, it's just there's a bunch of really cool Star Wars ships, and it almost kind of hurt to have to pick.
Right?
I stand by my decision.
This, I think, was one of the hardest top 5s we've done so far.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
I'd say so.
Well, thank you guys so much for listening. We really do appreciate it. Also, if you're listening somewhere where you can leave us a comment, let us know what your guys' favorite ships are. We'd love to hear it. And if you want to be a part of this conversation, you can email us at animalsquadron@gmail.com. Again, that is animalsquadron@gmail.com. And if you could leave us a review wherever you're listening, that would be awesome. For the Animal Squadron, this has been MotherGoose.
HouseDog.
And Lowtech Tuck.
Goodbye, everybody.
Adios.
Goodbye.